Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we have a bit of a treat. We are solving not only a fog puzzle, but a fog puzzle from, I keep calling them the dynamic duo of FullDeck and Missing a few cards, who were very kind enough to actually send this particular puzzle through to me to solve. They mentioned they're not going to post it on Logic Masters Germany, so I don't necessarily know what the difficulty rating of this puzzle is. But I imagine, they're familiar with the channel enough to give us something that is reasonably approachable as opposed to a particularly difficult one. It is a Friday after all. When they passed it to me, I think it was a Friday, but apologies, I wasn't able to feature it in time, so I saved it to make sure that it is posted on a Friday. And you can see there Sleuth clearly on the way home after a night of a few drinks. He's looking very bright-eyed. I'm going to say steady on his feet at least, but everybody behind him maybe not. And strolling back home with a bit of fog. Familiar scene from my youth, less familiar for me these days. Let's take a look at the rule set and the puzzle with Foggy Friday by FullDeck and Missing a few cards, and standard Sudoku rules, fog and cages. So fairly straightforward. Standard Sudoku rules, everybody's familiar with this. Digits 1 to 9, once each in every row. Column and box, 3x3 box. Then we have fog. I think this is fairly explanatory. There is a bunch of grey cells. Once we actually place the correct digit, it will reveal all of the surrounding cells. So if this one is 2, for example, all of these will be revealed and hopefully gives us enough information to progress. Then last but not least, we've got cages. Digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the value shown in the upper left corner of the cage. So that means that there is a number of cells, including this 3. And I say a number of cells because you can see the dashed lines are not ending here, kind of heading in that direction. And they must sum up to 3, something towards 4, at least these 3 cells, 9, and at least these 3 cells, 6. Fairly straightforward set of rules, as always. To play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So, 2 cells can't be bigger for a cage of 3. This is 1 and 2. Cage of 2 for, again, can't be bigger. For 4, this is 1, 3, 1 and 2. This has to be 3. This is 1. We have our break-in. Actually, this is probably the easier one. This is 1, 2, 3. And it can only be 3 cells to add up to 6. You can see that 3 is in here because we've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in the column. Therefore, that isn't a 3. And then we have a 1, 2 pair in the column. New Year resolution, 1 and 2, corner pencil mark right away. 9 cage. So 9 is trickier because I can see that it's 3 cells and it is no more than 3 cells. 4 cells will be 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 10, too big. And therefore I have an option. I could go with 1, because you need to have a 1 in that option. But I can't have 3, 5. It would have to be 2, 6. But I have 1, 2, 3 in the column. That would be in the row. And therefore, that would be 1, 2, 6. The other option would be not to use a 1 at all. It would be 2, 3, 4. Now, the 3 would have to hide here. And then I would be left with 2 and 4. And again, the 3 would give me a 1, 2, 3 triple. 2 is in one of these 2 cells, you can see. And this would be 4. And this is always a 2. The 10 is probably now interesting. You can see 1, 3, and 2 all looking at these rows. It can potentially be 4, but the challenge that I have is what would I make these 2 cells? The minimum is 4, 5 with 2, 1, 2, 3 gone. In fact, I think it is forced. This is like 1, 4, and 5, but essentially a 10 cage has to have 1 or 2 in it. So this is 1 or 2. Can't, if it's 2, it's 2, 3, 5, which it isn't available, so that is 1. These 2 cells are now 4 and 5. It was forced all along. 4 and 5 are looking at this 4, 6 option, so that's got to be 6. Therefore, that is a 1. That is a 2. That is a 1. That is a 2. That is a 3. That is a 1. What a lovely break-in. Right, 9 cage in here. Again, can't be bigger than 3 cells, otherwise it would be at least 10. 1, 2, and 3 is saying that this is at least a 4, meaning that these are 2 cells that add up to 5. Right, So there's definitely, I don't know if I want to go with the 9 cage, but it's just closest to where my kind of mass was, so I'm going with it. So if this is a 1, I can't do 1, 2, 6 because 2 and 6 are not available. I could do 1, 3, 5 with 1 and 3 and 5. So that's one option. The other option would presumably be 2, 3, 4. So 2 and 3 means that would be the 4 and this would be 2 and 3. So there's always a 3 in here. Then one of 1 and 2 with 4 or 5. Interesting. This 9 cage is definitely 2, 3, 4 because neither cell could be a 1. That's not a 1. May as well take that one for free. Actually, the 12 cage is also given. We've got 1 and 2 looking at it, and essentially none of these 3 cells could be 1 and 2. And I now know it is 3 cells because the minimum these 3 cells could be now is 3, 4, 5, which is exactly 12. 2, 3, 4, 5 in the row 3, and there's a quadruple. There's definitely a 5 in here. That's not a 5. There's definitely a 2 in here. That's not a 2. That is a 3, 4 pair. That is a 5. That is a 4. It's kind of pointing you towards the 15 cage now. Is it pointing me towards 15 cage? Or am I reading too much into it? Sudoku says 2 is in here. Not sure, actually. I'll think about the 15 and then we'll kind of regroup if it isn't the 15. So, I mean, it's too many options. Because, I can do things like put a 1 in here with 6 and 8. I could just potentially, like, there's too many options. I need to eliminate some things. And it's probably Sudoku. Probably. Can it be 1, 3, 5? It looks like it can. And can it be 2, 3, 4? Again, looks like it can. If it is 2, 3, 4, that's another 2, 3, 4. The 2, essentially the 2 and 4 would have to be in there. The 4 couldn't be inside the 15 cage. So if this is 2, 3, 4, this is 2, 3, 4. That would be the 4. That would be the 3. That would be the 4. No, I've got to be missing something. What am I missing? I am missing 1 and 2 have to be in here. So this is a 1, 2, 3 row. Yeah. Interesting. Right. So if this is 2, 3, 4, that would definitely be 1. And in fact, if it is 2, 3, 4, let's evaluate the options. That would have to be the 2, because this is the 4, this is the 3, therefore this would be the 2, 4, and 3, and 1. Okay, and then I would end up with 2, 3, 4. Of course, I would break this cell. Sleuth. That was so much easier than what I was doing, so with these shenanigans. So this is 1, 3, 5. And Sudoku says this is definitely a 2. Don't need any of the corner pencil marks. This is a 5. This 2 tells me there's another 1, 3 in here inside the 6 gauge. 1, 3 pair tells me that's not a 3. 3 is in one of these 2 cells, and therefore that is a 1, that is a 3, that is a 1, that is a 3. Lovely. Now, no 1 inside this 15 cage. No, let's come back to the 15 in a second. No 1, no 3, no 5. I think this is forced with 2 and 7, isn't it? Because it's not 1, 8, it's not 3, 6, and it's not 4, 5. 2 and 7 tells me that's a 3, 4 pair now in here. That is the only place for a 2 in there. That 1 tells me that's the 1. Can't have a 2 inside the 15 case, otherwise that would be a 12 cell. So that's the 2. 2 cells down that add up to 14, and that's 5, 9, or 6, 8. Both seem to be viable options for now. $13 and 3 cells that are not 1, 2. Could be 3, to be fair. It almost certainly has to have 3. Because essentially, without 1 and 2, this is forced. This has to be 3, 4, 6. And a 3 can't be in these cells. That's a 3. This is 4, 6. This is 7, 8, 9. I don't know if I want to pencil mark these, but I'll leave it. And that is actually very helpful because now 1 and 3 can't be inside the 15 cage. Nor can 4 for that matter. So if I don't put a 2 in here, the minimum will be 5, 6, 7, which is too big. So I need to have a 2, kind of X-wing in here, and then 2 more cells that add up to 13. And my choices are limited. They're not 4, 9. I say limited, they're not actually that limited. They could be 5, 8, and 6, 7. The 5 would have to be in here with 2 and 8. The 7 would have to be in here with a 6. And that's fully pencil marked now. We should have enough information surely to start. You know, there's a couple more cages that we need to reveal to make progress. Let's have a think about it. I feel like the 3 and 4 is in trouble. Where's 3 and 4 in box 5? And Sudoku says there is no 3 in here. And this cannot be 3. Oh, it is 3 already, excuse me. Right, let's do 4 instead. That is more interesting. 4 is not in any of these cells. 4 cannot be in one of these two because I have a 3, 4 pair. So that's got to be 4. That is 3. That is 3. These are now a 4, 5 pair. This is a 10 cage that is not 1, 2, or 3. So that's got to be 4, 6. 6 tells me that 15 cage that needed 14 is now 5, 9. It can't be 6, 8. This is 7, 8. This 5, 9 does nothing for me. It does give me a 2, 7, 8 triple. There is another 2, 7, 8 triple in here with a 6, which can only be in here. And this is 7 or 8 because it can't be 2. The 2 is restricted here. Well, and there's a 2 there. 6 in here gave me that 5, which forces this to be 2 and 8. 2 and 8. Has that helped me? Must have. Yeah, 2, 8 gave me 7, which gave me 2, gave me 8, gave me 2, gave me 7, gave me 8, and 7. Lovely. 7, not available here. These are now an 8, 9 pair. My earlier 2 is now here. 3, oh no, 1 is there. 2 cells that add up to 11. 2 and 3 are gone. So 4 and 7, 5 and 6 are options. 5 would be here. 4, 7 would be there. And I really need to do some more Sudoku. Famous last words. Essentially, row 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, not a 6. I'm kind of trying to avoid pencil marking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because we have so many of them. But the 7, 8, 9s, I mean, we're starting to get a few of them. Let me just see if I can finish 1s and 2s. 1s I probably have already. Yes. 2s I have. 3s I now have, and that gives me a 9 in here. That is not a 9. 4s, Actually have way less than I thought, but that 9 gives me a 9 in here and then a 6-8 pair in there. That gives me 6s in columns 5 and 6, and therefore this cannot be 6-7. What was it? Sorry, 6-5. So that's definitely a 4-7 pair. And that, oh yeah, it all looks right. Never mind. Okay, what do we do next? Other than the 4, we don't seem to have that many 5s. 4 is in one of these two cells, not very useful. 8-9 pair doesn't seem very useful. Huh. Oh, 4 gave me 5 and 4. Now we're back onto 7, 8, 9s again. Don't quite have enough information to force a solve here, do I? So this cell is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. And then in the column, I've got 3 of 6, 7, 8, 9s, and then obviously the 4 with 6 or 7. So these cells have to contain the 8s and 9s, but like it's just doesn't feel like enough. This now needs 6, 8, 9, I'm going to say, with a definite 6. That is not a 6. In fact, it's not a 7. Like, why did I deliver it? 6, 8, 9 triple, 4, 7, that's a 5. 8, 9 hasn't actually helped me. I still have the 4, 7 and 4, 6 kind of dilemma. That hasn't changed. 7, 8, 8, 9. I have another 7, 8, 9 and a 6, which is difficult to place. 6 is not here. Right, so what is here? Because it's not 1, 2, 3. Fortunately, it can still be 4. It's not 5, it's not 6, it's not 9. It could also be 7, 8. Not quite a triple. Working towards one. Down here, I need a 5. Okay. Suddenly, tricky Sudoku. Where have I not Sudoku'd, so to speak? So I want to think about 4s for a second. 4 is in one of 2 cells. No 4s. 4 is in one of 3 cells. This is not looking brilliant. Not looking brilliant at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 8 tells me this is 6, 9. That's enough, surely. Because I have a quadruple now of 6, 7, 8, 9. That forces this to be 4. That forces this to be 7. That forces this to be 5. That is not a 7. 6, 7, 8, 9. Where's, yeah, 6, 8, 9 triple. Where's the 7? Just double checking that I haven't eliminated it incorrectly. That is the only place for a 7. These are not 7. That's an 8, 9 pair. That's an 8, 9 pair, 8, 9 pair. So that is probably going to be very helpful. Such as this can only be 5 or 6 because it cannot be a 9 to complete the column. 8, 9 pair, 4, 6. The rest of them have to be what, 5, 7? Unresolved. And then in here is 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the quadruple that's left, except this is not 5 or 6, and there has to be a 7. So I can see 5, 6, and 7 because that's not 7. That has to be 4 by the looks of things, and this is another 5, 6, 7. There's a definite 7 in one of these two cells. Not hugely useful, to be fair, because I knew that. And there is essentially 6, 8, 9 in here with a definite 8, which I also knew. Seven, 8, 9, 7 or 9. And that's enough. That's definitely an 8. That's 9. That's 8. That's 9. That's a 6, 8 pair. That's 9. Neither of these are 9 now. 7, 8. That's 7. Yes, because it wasn't 4. I hope my deductions there were logical and I didn't kind of jump somewhere. Feels like I should be able, yeah, because of that 4. I was going to say it feels like I should be able to resolve it, which gave me 8, 6, 7, 8. Whoa, whoa, hang on, that was meant to be 9. 5, excuse me. That gave me 8 in here, 9 in there, hasn't helped here. This cannot be 8, so this is presumably 4 or 7 unresolved. That 5, 7 is still unresolved, 5, 6, 7 unresolved. Come on. Some of these surely are soon. No 9, no 9. 6, 8, 6. Only place 4, 8, 9 in box 1, which gives me 5, 9, 7, 5. Just not 7, 5, 6, no, yeah, 5, 6. It is fully resolved. That is resolved. That is resolved. This is another 4 or 8. It can only be 4. That's the 8. This is 4. That is 7. And then if I've not made any mistakes, that looks like a 6 for the finish. Fantastic puzzle from FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. Thank you so much for sending it through. And hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. And I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.